medicine. My brew's boiling nicely. Got like a rolling boil going on now. It's been on for 10 minutes or so. So I'll leave that for another 10 minutes or so, and then we'll give it a taste. So I'll just take this opportunity, I think, to go over just some of the things I've been doing here. For those of you who don't know, as always, out in the wild, in the wilderness, preparation is paramount, really. That goes with your clothing, the equipment you bring with you, your supplies, and setting the fire up, collecting wild foods if that's what you're going to do. So with the fire, as always, the fire is an essential part of, say, bushcraft. So just make sure you spend that time initially preparing the right wood in the right way with the right tools, and this way it keeps things simple and foolproof. And when you start trying to cut corners with it, that's when things can start going in the wrong way, let's say. I mean, the conditions aren't too bad today. It's been raining on and off, but at times when it's raining constantly, let's say, you want to light this fire the first time on your first attempt, because if you fail on your first attempt, it can feel a little bit disheartening. So just put that preparation in, and learn your techniques at home as well. There's no harm in collecting some forest products, as it were, and taking them home in the comfort of your own home, in that kind of controlled environment where there are no variables, and practice there at home in the back garden or in the front room even. And then bring those skills out into the forest and try and you adapt them to each particular occasion. And when it comes to gathering wild foods, you have to be very careful, because there are some poisonous species of mushroom and plant, both in the UK and over the rest of the world. So my advice on the wild foraging is go with an expert at first. Not just once either, obviously. This a gradual learning curve. You need your identification books. But the main thing is getting out there, and even if you don't eat them, look at them and take photos for reference. And you'll become familiar with different species, some easier than others. Like I mentioned before with the sheathed woodtuff, there's a similar species, similar looking species that's poisonous. It's deadly poisonous. If you eat a certain amount of the funeral bell flesh, it'll be your funeral bell, you know, that's tolling. And same with plants as well. There's some poisonous species of plants which we can go into on another occasion. So just be careful, even if your wild foraging is at this time of year limited to blackberries, elderberries maybe to make some juice or wine. You know, these simple things that you're 100% certain they're safe. Well, so be it. That's all right. Just get yourself out there into this environment, and always treat it with respect. Our environment, as always, we don't leave anything behind. We never leave any litter, and in fact, we pick other people's litter up when when it's convenient for us to do and possible for us to do. You don't leave evidence of the fire, you know, you dig a pit and cover it over, make sure it's out. So there are certain rules that we stick by when we're out, and above all, have fun and enjoy it. It's beautiful. Turn the TV off, that's the first stage, and get out there and live some of this yourself. So the fire needs a bit more wood, so I'll get some of that and I'll see you soon. So we have Bess the dog curled up and the mushroom tea is ready. Let's give it a go. Lovely. That's good. That's like a very, very weak mushroom soup. That's mushroom water. And by no means have I boiled it long enough, like I say. What about an hour minimum? And you can do this at home as well and make a very nutritious tea at home from it. And always with the foraging, don't take everything. We need to leave things behind in the forest. It's part of the ecosystem of the forest, an essential part. So just take what you need yourself and enjoy that. Oh, it's perfect. And I suppose, I forgot my, I've stood on them all now, I forgot my wood sorrels. I'll put some of those in. Just to maybe infuse a little bit of citrus flavour. So that and it looks much nicer now. Yeah. So wonderful. That's a nice little fire break and refreshment break. So yeah, I'll see you next time, and enjoy yourselves and make the most of our natural environment, and as always, look after it and it will look after you. So just make sure that the fire's out properly, and make sure the forest floor isn't still embering. I've put quite a lot of water on this, so that's fine there now. You just got some residual steam coming off it from the heat, and then especially this time of year it's very easy to just toss some of the surrounding forest back onto it, and we leave it like me and Bess. I've never been here, so that's about it for this little trip, little afternoon trip. I think there's a pub up the way there. I think maybe that's the next port of call. which is always a pleasant time. So I hope you've enjoyed it, and I'll see you on the next one.